Hello active traders, and welcome to a special video lesson on how to trade the pot stocks. They've really been on fire lately. We've got a cannabis cash craze, and so with the CBD beverage and also the regular weed stocks, they've really been doing spectacular breakouts lately. So I've got 8 stocks that we're going to go over today for some swing trading ideas that I think can really help you. We want to avoid having our trading accounts go up in smoke and instead help them get stronger and better. So we're going to take a look at the pot stocks of choice coming up in this video. As always, all information is for educational use only. I'm not making advice about what to buy, sell, or hold, and by what to disagree to not make actual trades. It's all for learning in a safe demo account only. Now, the hottest stock lately has been IGC. And I'm not going to go over the reasons why they're going up. As a trader, I don't care. I just care about, can I make money from the instrument? For example, my small cap scans members were given last week an alert to go long at 420. The first tip in trading these instruments is because of their extreme volatility, I urge you to sell early and sell often, especially when you have a gap up in your favor. So had you bought, say here at 420 in IGC, it'd be perfectly fine to swing trade and have sold it yesterday, because it's just a matter of time before it crashes and burns, comes back down. It may keep running on up, but oftentimes you'll find that with highly volatile instruments, they do a pop and drop, or they'll run up and they run right back down again. So the first tip is be fine with overnight, 1 or 2 or 3 day swing trades where you're holding just overnight for 1 day or 2 or 3. So that's tip number 1. Let's take a look at some of these charts. I'm going to click through them quickly and then we'll go through them one at a time. Here's ACBFF. We've got both small and larger cap instruments. ALEAF, right? What a run. And then a crash, right? Mean reversion pullback. CRON, another run up and then crash, right? And we've seen a theme here. GWPH, that one ran up and held, so far so good. IGC runs up and holds so far. MJ ran up and then crashed and burned, so to speak. NBEV ran up, crashed, and burned. Okay, so you're seeing that these things try to get higher, but then they come crashing down later. So the tip is, there's plenty of opportunity to trade these, but get out sooner rather than later. Now, what I'm doing when I'm looking for trades, at least for these instruments in my own trading account, is to use more position sizing, and that's a scaling strategy tip as well. Or partial exits, something, let's say if you buy here and it runs up in your favor, sell 70-80% of it to lock in a profit, and then if it starts to roll back down, close out the remainder. So be keen to trade in 2 segments, the first initial trade and then 2 exits on the way out. Let's take a look at these charts one at a time. ACBFF, what I like about it is the extreme point range. From 6 to 10, it's got a 4-point range, right? Not quite doubling, but it's really good. As always, I like to buy strength. So I'm going to wait until this guy breaks well over the 1040 plus a small safety buffer to potentially avoid a false breakout. Always add a little bit on top. So earliest I'd be getting in this guy would be, say, 10.8. And not a trade recommendation, but because what will happen oftentimes is you'll see these things, they'll run up to just above resistance to get the newbie traders in, get their hopes up, and then it crashes and burns for a bit. They all get stopped out, and then it runs to 15 without them. And if you've been on the wrong side of that kind of false breakout pattern, you know how frustrating that can be. So we want to avoid that by using a safety buffer of anywhere from 20 to 50 cents or even more on some of these stocks. But this one is definitely on the radar because of the point range and the directional volatility. Second up, ALEAF. This one kind of ran up. It got higher and higher, and then it went down in flames and crashed and burned back down to 2. So it ran from a buck a share to 3.5 a share, tripled, and then crashed and burned. Now, let's say if you were long this stock, and I'd just like to walk through, this is kind of old school, but I've been teaching thousands of traders for 20 years, so indulge me. I like to use kind of like if we could wind back the clocks, go back in time and see, okay, that might be a good breakout entry, and it keeps going up day after day. Day 3 is usually a good day to exit on a breakout. So like I said, 2 to 3 day round trips in these instruments. And remember I said that too. Test it out for yourself. I think you'll be pleasantly impressed with the outcome. Don't get greedy and say, well, it ran up here, maybe it's going to keep running on up indefinitely. These kinds of stocks do not run up indefinitely. They just a matter of time before they crash and burn. Now, sometimes they'll do what's called a mean reversion, or a 50% pullback. It'll run up, it'll pull back down to around half of the trading range, and then do a little bounce. And so that's all well and fine. Earliest I'd be getting long this guy would be over 3, and then again over 380. But we'll see which way it runs. I like the fact that it ran up so sharply, right? This is what I call an acceleration ramp, where you've got a steady uptrend that then goes to a sharper angle breakout. That's ALEAF. Next up, and I'm going to go quickly through these because I want to keep this video under 10 minutes, and it looks like we're at minute 6 already. CRON, another nice spectacular runner going from a base of around 10 a share up to 15, and then a pullback. And one thing, another strategy, right or downer, is to go in long at say 20, 30 cents or so above each whole number. So 12.20 might be a good entry. Then again, 13.20. This one's a little ripe. It's getting too close to resistance, so I would not be buying 14.20. I'd be waiting instead for something like 15.70, 15.80 for a new play. But as long as it stays down here, we stay clear. We do not want to speculatively catch a dead cat bounce or catch a falling knife at the first sign of a little pivot. Instead, we want to wait for it to climb and hold over the nearest whole number. Little pricier, actually a lot pricier instrument, GWPH. You may want to look at strategies for this one. This one ran from 140 up to just under 180, so a nice 40-point run, a spectacular breakout. And again, 180 is major resistance, so we'd want to wait for it to get at least 50 cents above that whole number high before going long. Next up, this one's been in the news, and like I said, IGC had been one of my small cap scans picks for my traders back over 420. It ran all the way up to 7, and we have a bearish upper shadow here and pulled back. I want to see if it breaks north of current resistance areas, or if it's more likely any day now, because we've got 3 days in a row of an uptrend. Remember I said that. Whenever one of these guys runs 3 days, look at this, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, game over, and it crashes and burns. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, it may be game over again early next week. So look for 3 day round trips maximum in these CBD and pot stocks. Next up, MJ. This one ran from 34 to 45. It came back down. It's kind of a choppier pattern. We'll see if it breaks north of 41, 42, 43 coming up. It's got a reasonably good range. Next up, for a smaller cap, NBEV, another momentum runner. Again, 1, 2, 3 days and you're done. Remember I said that. That's a very valuable technique. 3 day maximum round trips on pot stocks. You heard it here first. I'm Ken Calhoun, Trade Mastery. I've traded as much as $4.9 million worth of stocks in a single freaking year. I know how to trade. Anyway, 3 day round trips. You guys hold on to things far too long and get screwed, so don't do that. Get out while they're getting still good. When in doubt, get out. When in doubt, go to cash. Anyway, if you buy the first sign of a breakout, hold it for 3 days maximum, go to cash. Rebuy only if it takes out new highs. This guy has a range of 2 to 9, or actually 10. So it only quintupled. It's coming back to life. It's alive. Yesterday, or I should say day before yesterday, Friday, ran up a little bit. I'm eager to see if it breaks north of 650 or so. And last but not least, TLRY, relatively higher priced instrument too, going from 100 to almost 300, back down to 100, trying to bounce. I like the fact that it is bouncing, so that is a bullish momentum sign. So I hope that helps. We've got lots of charts to work with and plenty of volatility and trading ranges in these guys. And as you take a look at trading opportunities in your own trades, do be sure to follow calls that I make for these in my alert services, including swingscans.com. Okay, and we will be starting to cover these pot and CBD stocks more aggressively in all my alert services. Swing scans, small cap scans, that's for stocks under $10 a share. That's where the IGC alert came from. And my live trading room at tradingtheopen.com. So anyway, I'm Ken Calhoun from TradeMastery.com. Wanted to wish you and yours the best for successful trades moving forward in these instruments. Bye for now.